Okay, now why isn't that coming up? Okay. No, that ain't it. Ah, wait. Great, I'm screwing this up already. What happened? Oy vey. Okay, video capture device. No, that ain't it. Viewer counts there. That's there. Chat box is over there. Where the heck is my web page at? Now, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, hang on. I don't even know what this thing's doing now. Okay, hang on, let's get rid of this. Okay, we're gonna drop that. Now we're gonna try this again. Okay. See, is it that or is it that or is it that? Okay, now. Okay. Enter the name of that. Oh my gosh, this is like doing Waycaught. You ain't kidding, Mike. That's what we were going to talk about in a few minutes here. Hang on. What is the name of your browser source? I don't know. Firefox? All right, hang on. What the bloody heck happened? All right, let's try window capture. Okay, so all right, this thing's going whackety schmackety on me. Okay, add source. You see, this was working last time I was on here. Wow, okay, that didn't work. Get that out of here. Okay, what the heck is going on here, man? It's action-packed. It's Waycaught. It's Waycaught. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of fun here, I guess, with this software. Alright, streamlined OBS, performant and anxiety-packed. Okay, why isn't this thing working? Okay, screw it. We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, I think. Okay, yada yada, ha hee ho, ba da ba. Okay, it's not that, it's not that, it's not this. Okay, Hey, Macarena. How's everybody doing out there tonight, by the way? Oh, I'm trying to sort this out. Oh, man, this is... Normally, I have no problem with this software. But now it's decided it's not going to, let me show the browser. Okay, that didn't work either. Aha! Okay, let's move this up to here, that up to here, over there. There you go. Now you go play defense. Okay, So what's everybody been doing this week? No, it's not definite yet. Okay. All right. The reason why I named this video "Smells Like Hiatus," if I could ever get if I ever get this thing to work right again, is because of the simple fact that there's a lot of things going on where the dice are falling a certain way, and I don't like the way it's happening. Now, okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right, now we're going to try this again. What's been going on is you'll notice that the BBC put out that big statement saying that the future of Doctor Who is yada yada this, yada yada that. They're going to... Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, now that'll work. All right, I got this part working again. But they've been doing this, yada yada this, yada yada that. Then they've turned around and they said, well, we'll give you an announcement in the future. And I'm sitting here, and me and some friends, and I know a few people who are in the industry. They're like, huh? It's like, normally if they have a successor, they name them, and then that way everybody gets to sit there and speculate and dig up dirt on whoever this person is, till the end of time, before they take over. But as I told you all before, originally I was getting reports that either A, the show was going to come to a close on the 60th anniversary, or B, the only thing planned at this time was a centennial special. Oh, here's the problem. Now, all right, Herbie, some friends and I have been talking, and the more we talk, the more disturbed we get. We're beginning to think that the reason why they're doing the centennial special is because A, that Chibnall's contract's up in 2022. B, it's going to be your substitute for the 60th anniversary. And C, you'll be lucky to get a documentary or some really bad crap like they had on for the 50th anniversary. Let's get all the companions together in a cafe and ignore them because there's an announcement by One Direction. I'm not kidding. The whole thing stinks like yesterday's diapers. It's beginning to feel like it's a setup. That they're basically blowing smoke up our rears, telling us they've got plans for the future, and that the new showrunner and all this is going to be announced. It's like, okay, if you have a new showrunner and it's in place and they're going to take over, why not announce it? You see what I mean? It smells. It smells like misdirection. Like they're going to keep leading you on until after the centennial. Then they're going to go, hiatus. And the main reason is this. It's the same reason I've been telling you guys for almost 5 years. All right. Count off with me. I wish I had a bouncing ball here thing, Nobody wants the job. In order to get somebody to take over. Now, originally we were hearing Sally Wainwright. She may have been one of the perspectives that they decided to go that route. But, oh no, it's not going to be off forever. One of the things I heard is you're looking at probably like a 2 to 5 year hiatus at most. The reason being is, contrary to what Tard Kotick and El Peteron and Mega Dum Dum and all the rest of them are saying, it's what you call the show is making money. Like I said, here is a show that skipped a year in 2016, skipped a year again, and we're talking about Series 10 that came after and Series 12 that came after a year off. And still scored, both of them scored 5.5 million viewers on average. And it's like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, they probably already started shouting it. That that Chibnall's killed the show, Whittaker's killed the show. The Timeless Children, stole their dog. The Timeless Children ate their homework. Things like that. And I just die laughing. Like today, I actually stunned a guy into silence because he was running about in this comment box. And I said, he kept saying that catchphrase. He go broke. And I go, yeah, the battle cry of the asinine. And he's like, what are you talking about? You're talking about go woke, go broke. You're applying this philosophy that you're imagining to the show. that when it first came on the air, first of all, it wasn't a British guy who created Doctor in the first place. He was Canadian. Technically kind of British. Okay, I'm still saying he was on the North American continent first. So, aha! Okay. All right. Canadian who appointed the first woman producer to run the show at the beginning, Verity Lambert, who then hired a gay foreigner, Waris Hussein, to direct the opening episode. Yet, if they did anything like that today, you'd be shouting, go broke. And meanwhile, this is where Doctor Who started. It just amazes the crap out of me. It really does. Okay. Video capture device has gone haywire. Let's see, we got a media. No, it ain't that. Okay, window capture. All right, let's add source. No, it's not that one. Oh, crap. I think I fixed it. Oh, my goodness. Ah. Oh, crap. I did fix it. Okay. All right. So let's start off here. We'll run through the news really quick. I forgot to put that on the top so you can see me. I got to shrink myself down a little. Oh, jump in the cold pool. Okay. All right. So now I finally got this thing fixed. But like I said, it's not definite. It's just, I have this disturbing feeling that my source is panning out right. Like I said, I was talking to some friends of mine in the industry, like, okay, if they have a new showrunner, how come they haven't announced them? You know, that way it creates anticipation. You know, it'll keep the haters, running around looking for stuff wrong. It'll keep the people who want to believe in this person optimistic. And then they'll be speculating for 100 years who this person, hired. Yes, I like I said, I really think Jodie has been up there with, poor Cullen and Sylvester, who were blamed for everything, including, the Lindbergh baby kidnapping and everything else. It's just, oh, man. So, yeah, I finally got it working out. Thank you for the support there. I'm very sorry, folks. Like I said, I'm normally on the ball with these things, but I was playing around with the software because I still want to do some more Boston 2294 videos for y'all. And it came up interesting because sure enough, this last weekend, I went through hell. Suddenly the game crashed. All my saves were corrupt. And I was like, I had to go back all the way to before this week. Luckily, I keep all my save files. And I keep the extra ones on a different hard drive. And I had to go all the way back to the beginning of this weekend. I lost all the stuff I built, everything else like that. Oh, man. But like I said, the program went totally cuckoo. It really did. But, okay, let's get to what we got here. Let's get to what's going on. Let's take a look. All right. Actor Christopher Eccleston visits local theater group. The actor was there to speak to young people and answer their questions. I don't know why they keep saying former Doctor Who star. This guy's been in Elizabeth, Thor, The Dark World. I can name, 28 Days Later. He's done movies out the yin-yang. Matter of fact, for you folks who are interested, I have seen Eccleston's butt. It was in a scene in Elizabeth. It made me feel wonder about my own sexuality. But okay, he's a man's man. A manly man. Okay, local young people involved in the Acting Academy and Arts Award were met by the acting legend who spoke to them about his life and his work. And I love the fact that, here he is taking time out to inspire, these young folks, that say, hey, look, if you want to do this, it's your passion, learn from me, damn it. And by the way, don't work for the BBC, he probably said. Okay, all right, now, so here's the big announcement. Everybody's been waving and going, yay! But this is what the BBC actually told you. Quote, we will announce plans for the new generation of Doctor Who in due course. Watch this space. Okay. Now, here's where it gets weird. As part of the annual Edinburgh TV Festival, the heads of the BBC genres and content appeared at a panel where they were asked about the future of Doctor Who. Now, speaking at this year's festival, the director of drama, Piers Wanger, was asked if he had a plan for the future of the series beyond 2022. He responded, quote, no, I don't. As with any change in Doctor and showrunner, it will be ambitious and radical. We will have to look at the TV landscape in which it will play, so change is ahead. In other words, They're freaking lying to you. They don't have anybody lined up to take over because nobody wants the job. It's like, I'm not kidding. It's like saying, you could be the ultimate, I don't know. Let's say, we could put you on top of Olympus, but the problem is you'll probably fall off afterwards. That's a bad metaphor. God, I'm getting the suck of this. I'm having one of them weird days. So they're blowing smoke up your ears, folks. They don't have anybody to take over the show. Watch this space. Yeah, watch this space, my eye. How many 9 months have you seen today, Piers? Okay, Doctor Who's new showrunner and once again, this was the Radio Times putting their spin on this crap. And it's like, he doesn't have one. He's just saying if there is one, it's going to be a radical change. He didn't say there was going to be one. All right, now here we go right down into a topic. The Timeless Children. March on Tokyo. Okay, now, Philip Hinchcliffe says the new Doctor Who is fantastic, but 45-minute episodes are not as satisfying. You got to remember that back when Hinchcliffe ran the show, it was shown in a 25-minute serial format. Once a week, you got a chapter of the story. And some of those stories went like upwards of 6 or 7 parts sometimes. So it was like every big episode, that made of all these little... It was like watching one big movie, which is why it was nice when it came to the States. They edited all that together. It's like, I got a new Doctor Who movie every week. And it could be like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, depending on the serial that it's doing. So that's what he's talking about, But I can see where he's coming from, because when you're taking your own time with the story, you have more time to develop it as you like. Like, I die laughing when people are going, I watched the first season of Babylon 5 and I turned it off because I got partially in the series 2 and it was boring. That's because when they got Babylon 5 on the air, the network approved it for 2 seasons. So Joe Michael Straczynski took his time building up the story because he had the time to do it. Okay, Philip Hinchcliffe admits he didn't consider the repercussions of the Morbius Doctors. Now, you have to remember, folks, and like I said, I know you've all heard this from me 1,000 times, but are you folks watching this video for the first time? Let this sink in. Remember, we had the second Doctor Troughton tell Jamie, if I remember right, that his people could pretty much live forever barring incidents or accidents and illness. Then you have a line, like I said, I think it was Mind of Evil, but I'm not sure, where somebody gets the Doctor pissed, and Pertwee belts out, Sir, I've been a scientist for thousands of... And then cuts him off as he's about to say... Cuts himself off, he's about to say years. Because he realizes this guy's going to think he's a loony if he says that. Then you come to the brain of Morbius, where Hinchcliffe is a goof, decides, okay, let's throw a little more mystery in by having all these previous faces before Hartnell show up. Because there was no 12 regeneration limit. Well, that's why I die laughing when people go on about established canon in Doctor Who. There was no 12th regeneration limit until Deadly Assassin, which came after Brain of Morbius. Which, like I said, it put the 12 regeneration limit in. It retconned Omega. Now, they did eventually change that so that Omega and Rassilon kind of like palled up for the whole time travel thing. But, originally it was Rassilon. By the way, if you want to talk about established canon, the seal of Rassilon was originally the seal of the planet Voga in the arc in space. You see what I mean? It's like, established canon. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, talk about oxymorons. All right. Paul McGann. Doctor Who couldn't have worked out better, and he looks back on his career with cult status thanks to Whitnell and I and Doctor Who. And this is a nice little interview with Paul McGann going on about it. I think if I remember right from when I read of this, the gist of what I got was, it just wasn't meant to be in 96. The time wasn't right. And when it did finally come out in 2005, it couldn't have worked out any better. And I think that's what he was referred to. All right, for you folks who watch Doom Patrol, which to me is like the Avengers on some controlled substance that even Walter White from Breaking Bad couldn't hope to ever make in his lab. Michelle Gomez brings Madame Rouge to Doom Patrol in these new photos. And also, once again, Michelle Gomez, her own little brand of character. She's going to be playing the character Madame Rouge on Doom Patrol this season. So, I don't know a whole lot about Madame Rouge. I'm not as familiar with DC as I am with Marvel, because we didn't have a whole lot of DC animated shows other than Super Friends. All right. The Legacy of Terrance Dicks by Neil Gaiman, Frank Skinner, and more. To celebrate the release of the essential Terrance Dicks out today, several Doctor Who writers and actors told us about how Terrance Dicks novels and television stories inspired them, and you can order the essential Terrance Dicks, volumes 1 and 2, out now. There's the links for it, okay? So, if you're a big fan, remember, Terrance Dicks not only wrote for Doctor Who, but he also did a lot of the Target novelizations, if memory serves. And like I said, I got a friend of mine who's like a hardcore, Terrance Dicks fans. And speaking of you classic folks out there, this is one I never anticipated happening in a billion years. Ace is going to Torchwood, or at least she's going to be appearing in the Adventure of the Red List, which is coming out on Big Finish Audio in November of this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do a more adult take on Ace, because that's basically what Torchwood was. It was a more adult version of Doctor Who, in my opinion. So let's see how that goes. You never know. Okay. All right, meanwhile, let's get over to this. All right, let me get caught back up on the chat board here for you folks. Let's move that chat box up there. Well, like I said, that's another thing I've been trying to monkey around with, because I want to get the text up here on the screen and change the color so you can all see it as I do. All right, so let's go right here. I'd happily take the job. I have a 6-year plan and a spin-off idea. I've got a billion spin-off ideas. Why not have one of the other former Doctor Who companions? Like I said, Perry would have been perfect for taking over at Bannerman Road, because, she's been living on a planet with, what's his name all those years. But then again, later on, after I came up with this idea, they picked up on that in The Widow's Assassin and Big Finish. But she could have came back to Earth, and now she has to adapt to 21st century Earth, because when she left, it was like 1983 or 84. So now she's got to catch up on 40 years of technology, culture, and all that. And then you've got, the companions, whether it be the original kids and all that, helping get her adapted to the 21st century. Oh, thanks, Frank. I could use that money. Thank you. Super chat. Thank a lot. I don't see that very often, so I really, really appreciate it when folks do that. Every little dollar helps. Every little bit helps. Okay, I didn't like the Morbius Doctors at first, but the idea grew on me. Like I said, originally when I watched Brain of Morbius, I too thought, okay, these are incarnations of Morbius versus incarnations of the Doctor. But then it was later on when I started reading up on it. I think I read like Key to Time or something like that, brought it up. And it's like, wait a minute, what? And it's like, yeah, they were supposed to be previous incarnations of the Doctor. Oh, here's the thing. I would, in my, hell, I probably couldn't even handle a flight over there, let alone running that show. I'd probably have a heart attack within the first 30 days. BBC politics, like I said, a lot of people don't realize, just, they think because you're showrunner that you're in charge of everything. And that's not the case. You're an employee, just like everybody else. That's why I die laughing when, like I said, I don't normally get political, because I really don't give a shit. Because everybody's like, President Biden did this, President Trump did that. And I'm like, guys, you do realize that your president's just basically there to be the middleman and, the guy that draws your fire. Okay? That's basically like being a BBC showrunner. So, okay. Well, it's too late now, Paul. It's now canonized. But like I said, the whole timeless children part of it, though, you can overwrite that anytime you want. It's not that hard to do. Or just ignore it and let it die. Just like when, everybody was freaking out because, speaking of Paul McGann, he snogged his companion at the end of the 96 movie. Also, he said he was half human on his mother's side. Blasphemy! Here, making him into Spock. Oh. And I kept hearing that over and over again. But like I said, if the dominoes keep falling the way they are, like I said, I anticipate hiatus. Because if they are not even announcing right now who the new showrunner is, and Chibnall's not leaving until 2022, so what's the point? They announced Chibnall before Moffat left. They announced Moffat before RTD left. So, you see, it doesn't make any sense. And also the way he's wording everything, there will be change. Okay. But that's kind of to be expected when you bring in, new executive producer, showrunner every time. That's all, like, when you run back over the different eras, of Doctor Who, like I said, you can tell there was a regime change depending on what, episodes you're watching. It's like, come on, Hinchcliffe era. Pfft, you cannot mistake a Hinchcliffe era for anything other than a Hinchcliffe era episode. I'm not kidding. It's just crazy. That was like the Hammer horror hour, or, a couple hours depending on the episode. Okay. That's very true, Alistair. We don't know where the Timeless Child originated. So, like I said, also, it could be the Doctor wasn't the Timeless Child. This was all bull left in the Matrix to throw everybody off from, who the actual Timeless Child is. You see, it could have been a trick by Tech-Tayun to protect the identity, of the original Timeless Child. Okay, been meaning to do this. Oh, thank you, Frankie. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. £5 super chat there. Thank you so much. All right, I hope all was well. Okay, yeah, we're all well here. I'm just saying it's like I'm 50 years old. I'm overweight. I'm diabetic. I'm not sure, in a prolonged prolonged plane trip. I was about to say prolonged interplanetary trip. Almost said. I'm not sure a prolonged, plane trip would be a good idea. I would love to visit the UK someday, but I just don't see it happening. Even if just for a few days, I'd love to go over there. It doesn't even have to be, filming. There's just so many things I've wanted to see. Or, I'd die to go to Egypt. I'm not kidding. It's just so many interesting things I want to look at with my own eyes. But like I said, that's up to you, man. Dead or like I always said, my dad always said, different strokes for different folks, But that same episode you're talking about was actually picked as a potential Emmy nom by Variety magazine, and I'm not talking about We Got This Covered. I'm not talking about The Sun. We're talking Variety magazine rated it highly. But like I said, different people have different tastes. Like I've watched movies that were down thumb, peed on, and everything else like that. And it's like, I've liked them. Like, matter of fact, unpopular opinion, and this is something I say every now and then. So a lot of you watch this, show already know what I'm going to say. Day of the Doctor was one of the worst pieces of writing I've ever seen. There. All right, could get past Captain Jack. I don't know if it's the score. Well, I was just saying, yeah. So I did. I did not like it. It was. I still swear to this day, I could eat a can of alphabet soup and shit a better script than Day of the Doctor. And it just really ticked me off. It's like, okay, Eccleston didn't show up. Paul McGann was ready and able to work. Oh, we'll bring him in for a 7-minute kiss-off so we can get John Hurt in here to sell theater seats. And also, it'll create a mystery item to make people flock to the theater to see who he actually is. And it's like, it was all a gimmick. I like how they pick on, they say, oh, the hiring of Jodie Whittaker was gimmick, casting. Moffat lived on gimmicks. What do you think the War Doctor was about? It was a gimmick. To get people in there and get them in the theater seats. Well, sadly, that's because the previous guy, Murray Gold, left. Sorry, like I said, not a lot of people. Like I said, not everybody's going to like Segan Akinola's music. I have no trouble with the score. I really have not. But like I said, that's me. All right, Swarm. That's a good question because we've had several previous, like I said, if he's trying to hit at something from the classic series, we've had multiple species and all that in the classic area, through fluid swarms. Like I think not the great, crap. It was the invisible enemy, that virus also came in swarms, I believe. The Wirren, like you said here, Phil, came in swarms. Oh, yeah, I think Moffat did a lot of amazing things. Like I said, I'm not saying it's absolutely terrible. It's just, I don't get the point. He made the Zygons into a joke. They no longer need a body print machine to shapeshift, so why the hell would they leave Elizabeth I alive? You see, when I write a plot and all that, I like to think, why would someone do this, this, and this if they know it's going to screw themselves over later? Unless there was something to gain. And I'm sitting there going, why is Elizabeth I still alive if they don't need a body print of her? It's like, wait a minute. So why would she be there warning, the 10th Doctor? Not to mention the whole plot line, the whole plan was idiotic. Plus, like I said, one of the things I liked about the Zygons, as I said before, they needed a light, the way you call it, the machine to mimic the person. That's why they had to keep their prisoners alive, the body print machine. So they could mimic their form and, able to absorb information and all that from second to second. And it's like they didn't change mass, which means they didn't change into horses. They didn't change into bunnies. You see what I mean? It's like, that's why I didn't like it. Yeah, but like I said, it just didn't work for me. It also, like I said, the whole plot was moronic. Okay, we're in charge of the British Empire, which is one of the most powerful kingdoms on the planet in the 16th century. Let's go to the 21st century, where now we're not only outnumbered by like billions of one, but now they're going to have a technologically advanced weaponry and stuff to detect us and kick our ass. I'm like, what was the whole point of going to the 21st century? But okay, yeah, the almost people, like I said, a lot of people were divided on that. I liked it. I said I could see what they were going at there. Oh, like I said, it came out good in the end, Alistair, because like I said, I love John Hurt's portrayals. John Hurt could have done a video of just him sitting there reading the dictionary. And I'd probably be enthralled. Because he was just that damn good. Plus, he did do a few Big Finish audios that were pretty damn good. But still, they screwed over Paul McGann. And that's because I don't see him as a villain, and we need some gimmick hiring. You think, okay, they were hardcore after Eccleston. It didn't even have to be Eccleston who was in the Time War. He could have been the one that came after. It could have been McGann. See what I mean? But I liked that episode, so that's okay. I don't like the concept of the Timeless Children, so why are they letting him shoehorn all these other doctors in when somebody else did it back in 1976? Oh, yeah. Oh my God, my allergies are starting to kick up. My nose is starting to itching. Vapor tissues. Okay, let's get rid of that. Ooh, that's a big one. Oh, okay. All right, let's get the sanitizer out here. All right. So, like I said, it just seems to me like we're headed for a hiatus. Well, the saddest part is, from what I was able to gather, they sprang this whole Centennial thing on Chibnall. And it's like, that gave him like less than a couple weeks to write a script. It's like, wait a minute, you're giving me feature length. You've given me about maybe 3 weeks notice. Ugh. Like I said, I think it could have worked with McGann. Hell, maybe it could have, because, yeah, McGann hurt. That would have been cool if it was well written. Okay, Alice, I can see where you're going there. I always loved John Hurt and everything. It's like, he's one of my favorite actors of all time, like Roddy McDowell. Like I said, I can watch Roddy McDowell in any day. I've watched Roddy McDowell in some of the worst damn movies you could ever imagine. But I watched the movie because Roddy McDowell in it. Is this, one of my favorite actors, Roddy McDowell. And I do agree. Like I said, I really wish they'd gone back to Paul McGann, because if you've listened to the Big Finish audios at the end of Lucy Miller, he was literally on the point of breaking because, of his loss on both fronts there. And that's what I think that, Gaius and them were going for, and Nick Briggs, and all them. Or sorry, Nick Briggs and Ellery. I think that's what they were hinting at. was that this was going to happen. But then, well, like I said, yeah, John Hurt was, like I said, I still died laughing because I was watching a reaction to History of the World Part 1, and I had completely forgotten the one scene in the movie where John Hurt was actually playing Jesus. Because I'm like, wow, the War Doctor really was being naughty there. Oh. How's BBC doing in the UK? They're hanging in there for right now. Yeah, I feel they've sniffed it, they've snuffed him, they've snubbed him. But at the same time, he's had a grand career, all around. So, yep, Error of the Zygons. Thank you, Mike, for catching that. I can't take credit for that title. My friend Vil came up with that title, Vil Rovner. So I have to give it to him. He's the one who came up with the title Error of the Zygons. See, people accuse me of taking credit for I don't take credit for other people's work. I had a guy crawling up my butt about Dr. Freedom and Eric, and I said, no, you came up with the name Eric. I came up with the whole concept of Dr. Freedom and Eric. And, this guy traveling the universe, and he's got a Dalek, and nobody can figure out why the Dalek's there, why the Dalek hasn't killed him, and just, taken off. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot he did play Caligula in iClaws. I hear Caligula, I automatically think Malcolm McDowell because of the movie. And there's another actor I can watch all day, is Malcolm McDowell. Man, that guy could just put such a spin on a villain. Same thing with David Warner, another one of my big favorites. Yeah, didn't Hurt play Caligula in I, Claudius? Yeah, but in the movie Caligula, it was played by Malcolm McDowell. Yes, Chancellor Sudler. Yeah. I loved him in that role, too, because it was such a great Big Brother moment. Him on that big screen, shouting at these guys. If you ever get a chance, I don't know if you can find it, he played a villain in a movie called Jake Speed. And like I said, I could watch I could watch Roddy McDowell, I could watch John Hurt and anything. And that was one of the most crap movies on the planet Earth. It really was. It was cheesy as hell. But the fact that John Hurt played the villain, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, man. Oh, what was that villain's name? It'll hit me in about a half an hour because I actually know what it is. It's on the tip of my mind. Especially only John Hurt could deliver a line like this. He just threw a guy down into a pit full of tigers. And he goes, what can I say? Beats the hell out of tender victuals. I was really hoping they could get Pat Stu in there at least once, but that's not going to happen now. With him all tied up with Picard. I want to see Patrick Stewart and Doctor Who so bad. That's why I asked him when I met him. This was many, many years. It was back when X-Men, everybody was talking about X-Men, everyone was talking about Star Trek, and he appeared here once, and I knew Patrick Stewart's no way in hell he's coming back to Ohio. So that's the only reason I paid $80 for his autograph, is because I knew he was never coming back. And that's the question I asked him. Everyone was asking about, Star Trek, the upcoming X-Men movie. I just looked him dead in the face. I said, Patrick, how come you haven't been on Doctor Who yet? And he just shrugged it off and said, because they never asked me. I love John Hurt in just about everything he's in. I said, oh man, he was such an amazing actor. David Bowie, I barely remember that movie, AJ Rodriguez. I'm differentiating because the other AJ was in the chat. I'm AJ from Australia. Like I said, I haven't watched that movie probably in, like 20, 30 years, to be honest with you. I know that yeah, Grant, that was really kind of weird. I don't know why they went in that direction, making Picard a synth. Yeah, what was the whole point of that? It's like, well, wait a minute, we just wanted to get that artificial heart out of the story. There's 100 different ways you could have done that. You could have given him a biogenic implant. Come on, it's the 28th century now. There he is. Like, come on. Like, I was considering giving Dr. Freedom cybernetic legs for a while, but I'm like, it's the 32nd century. They'd have come up with something a lot better than that, than cyborg legs. They probably have cloning technology or biogenic technology like they did in Star Trek Next Generation. Yeah, I would have loved him in Doctor Who, Stephanie. I really would have. Yeah, Generations. Yeah, he played Soren. All right, my big problems with Generations, and like I said, it's just me. It's how I think. But okay, if the El-Orians, including Guinan, Soren, and all them, were refugees that were picked up by the Enterprise B around, say, 2290 something, which is around the time the Enterprise B was around, then how come the Federation didn't know about the frickin' Borg until the 24th century? Because the El-Orians fled their homeworld and became refugees because they got wiped out by the Borg. It's like, duh. Don't you think, at least one of them, how many refugees would have said, we were fleeing a race called the Borg? Yep, the man who killed Kirk. And originally, it wasn't as drawn out as it was. If I remember right, Soren shot him in the back. And he just fell off the thing and he was dead. There wasn't no big, long, drawn-out death scene. There was no make a different speech. But they decided to change that, if memory serves, for Generations. Just to give a little more emotional meaning. Just don't read that god-awful book that came out later about, for some reason, the Borg took his dead body and revived him and put him in charge of the collective. Oh, gosh. How popular? All right. Okay, I'm sorry, Jessica. But you've been asking me that, and I keep missing it. I'm very sorry. How popular is British TV shows in the UK and USA nowadays? There's a lot of British actors coming to America. I don't know about many, but then again, there's a lot of British shows that are on cable and all that people like. Like, I know I had friends of mine on this side of the pond who were like, what was the name of that one? Killing Eve? Or what was it? Something like, what was that one with? No, I'm thinking of Keeping Faith. That's all. I loved Keeping Faith, by the way, and that was made in Wales. I think it was Killing Eve, wasn't it? It had what's her name in it. Well, they kind of killed off Kirk because I think he wanted that. Just like originally Data was supposed to die, like in Generations, and then he was supposed to die in First Contact, and they kept putting it off because the studio didn't want to get rid of Data because he was one of the more popular characters. Then finally, I think it was Brent Spiner, said he was not going to do Nemesis unless they said, what do you call it, they would kill Data off. And then they did that stupid thing with B4, and I'm like, ugh. Killing Eve, yeah, I did have it right. Okay, I know a lot of people over here that watch Killing Eve. There's also a lot of great British programming that's up on Xbox. Sorry, not on Xbox, Netflix right now that people watch. Riker, how'd you get your butt kicked by a bird of prey that's so old that it's like it kind of shows you the Galaxy class to me was always like, why are they taking these things into combat? They were just oversized luxury cruisers. Ugh. I was playing a Vulcan who had lived across that time. He was 186 years old. He was still serving in the 26th century. And they said, well, what did you think about the ship designs of the 24th century? And he goes, we got complacent. And he's like, why? He goes, you had pregnant guppies like the Galaxy class. That was basically an oversized luxury liner. Oh, let's take our families out into the unknown where you could probably face combat and things like the Borg. It don't work. Okay, I know. What was that? Man on a Wire was one I know. Or there was, like I said, I don't watch a whole lot, myself because, like I said, I mainly restrict my programming down to a few shows these days. Like I know a lot of people that I knew were watching like Peaky Blinders and stuff like that. I think that's made over in the UK. I loved Ripper Street. That was one of my favorite programs ever. Almost broke my heart when the BBC canceled it after series 2, and then, like I said, Amazon Prime took it over, and it just got really good for those last 3 series it was on. Which is something they could do with Doctor Who, but I don't think the Beeb ever will. Because remember, they tried a joint venture before with Fox, and Fox still hasn't coughed up the rights to Grace Holloway or what do you call it, Chang Lee to this day. Which is why you've never heard them on Big Finish. Matter of fact, because of all the breakups, remergers, and all that, I was interviewing Daphne Ashbrook a few years ago, and she's like, they don't know who owns the rights to Grace Holloway at this point. It's all in limbo. Same thing with Chang Lee, who was played by Yi Ji So. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of the newer Star Trek series, but like I said, unlike these guys out there, I don't sit here and make videos over and over again about how I can't stand it, I don't watch it, and all that. And like I said, I just don't watch it. Okay, what am I watching these days? I've been watching all the Marvel programming that's out there. I'm really getting into Titans. That's the one with the DC show. Let's see, Titans, Doom Patrol. I watch NCIS. I watched NCIS New Orleans. So they canned it. Boy, vey. What else have I been watching lately? I watch like Paradise PD on Netflix. Well, like I said, the problem is the BBC, Jessica, is competing now with a market where there's so many different viewers out there. Also, I've been watching Riverdale. Don't ask me why. But see, Riverdale. I watched the new Walker Texas Ranger. The thing is, the BBC is now in a market where they're going up against all these streaming companies, and it's very hard to compete. Plus the fact that more and more people are not paying their license and they're just watching TV on the computer. So, well, the rights to the Doctor, the Master, and all that stayed firmly in the BBC's hands, even during the joint production with Fox. But the characters who were created during the movie, which were Grace Holloway and Yi Ji So's Chang Lee, are in limbo. Sherlock was okay on the first 2 seasons. I didn't bother watching the third. I just like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of shows anymore. Just like when The Flash is on, I watch it. I like the whole Arrowverse thing, except for Batwoman. I turned that off. Like, just over halfway through series 1, somewhere around there. I was like, forget it. I can't get into this. Same thing with Supergirl. I tried watching it. I just couldn't get into it. The BB, all right, no, they'll never license Doctor Who to HBO or Showtime because what do you call it? They want to keep their hands on that little moneymaker. I do have a VPN now. I got one through Surfshark. I highly recommend it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not getting paid by Surfshark to say that. I finally went out and they had a good deal on like a 2-year plan for Surfshark, and I grabbed it. Oh, sorry, I belched. Yeah, that whole, well, he just magically, yeah, he just fell off the building and did it as a trick, but we'll never explain how he did it. That way, because we have no idea how he could have done it and lived, so we'll just say it was all mysterious. Titans has been getting better. Matter of fact, you're going to see a lot of characters in Titans you didn't think you would see. I'll say that much. Hang on through the first couple series. Series 3 hits the ground running. So like I said, I give it a shot, Frank. It's a much, much darker, grittier take on the DC universe. Makes Batman look like a Sunday school picnic. Oh, man. Yeah, the new Walker ain't too bad. Jared Padalecki in there. I used to watch Supernatural with him in it and all that, but of course that came to an end at the end of season 15. Oh, well, folks, it is coming up on just short of an hour. And like I said, I got to be up for work in the morning. So I'm going to so like I said, it's just that if the dominoes keep falling, the way they appear to be falling, I really, like I said, I think they're going to kiss us off in 2022 with a centenary special. Have that stand in and double for the 60th we're not going to get. And then they're going to take a hiatus till they figure out what they're doing. And from what I've been told from sources, clandestine sources, it'll be a minimum of 2 to 5 years, or maximum of 2 to 5 years, because they don't want to keep the show off the air. It's making money. So, yeah, a lot of American shows used to be good. Now they're just all repeating the same crap over and over again. Okay, so everyone, please take care of yourselves. Be careful out there. Lots of weirdness going on in the world right now. That's my theory. I think they're going to kiss you off for the centenary special in 2022. And they're going to make it now, which is what they're doing. They're filming it now. By the way, unit soldiers have been seen on set for the special. But no sign of Kate Stewart or Osgood as yet. Oops, spoiler. I've been talking to some friends of mine. They said it seems like that's what they're going to do. They're going to kiss you off for the centenary special. And like I said, they're going to keep the show off the air till they find somebody to take charge of it that they know is going to hang around for a while. All right, good night, everyone. Please take care of yourselves. Watch out for one another. Don't do anything crazy. Wear a mask if you gotta, or get vaccinated. Like I said, I got vaccinated a few months ago, and I've been doing all right. So I didn't turn magnetic. So take it easy, one. I'm getting on out of here. Good night, everyone. Love to y'all.